share that show. Podawful.tv. Happy to be here.
These are the top 5 creepiest goons on the internet. Number 5, Spooky Charles. Also known as Dead Rep 324, this YouTuber quite possibly captured the only actual evidence for ghosts on video. He claims to be the right hand of God and the bringer of the law.
I'm the bringer of the law, motherfucker! Luke 12:2. Peace!
And surely his videos are too creepy to watch alone in the dark at night. Using his mirrors, Charles routinely sees and speaks to spirits. He claims he is tortured by this ability. His channel is filled with unusual phenomenon, such as this strange swirl, and I highly recommend it if you are brave enough. Number 4. Katie Lynn Donahue. Not much is known about Katie Lynn Donahue's mysterious past, other than her home address, phone number, and email addresses. But what is known may shock you. Legend has it that when Katie was young, her entire town called her butt face because of a horrible face disfigurement that is believed to have been caused by a curse. Being the town pariah, Katie was locked in a barn in her teens, and an unruly mob set her on fire, melting her face. She mysteriously survived the blaze, and when she returned years later, she immediately began raping babies to death as revenge on the town. To hide her disfigurement, she began wearing a milk jug on her face and now routinely posts about pedophilia to Facebook in order to mock her victims. She is still at large. Number 3. The Bone Crusher. Little is known about this horrifying entity who torments the Applebee's in Davenport, Florida. The townspeople know him as the Bone Crusher, though some refer to the being by its ancient name Mersh. They say on a clear night, you can sometimes see him pushing his BMW down the highway while snorting bones. Number 2. We have all heard the tale of the good-natured but misunderstood Hunchback of Notre Dame Quasimodo, who, when given the chance, proved the world wrong about their assumptions of him. But on the internet, there is a creature, though she rarely appears, who is the exception that proves the rule. She is known only as Full-On Modo, and legend has it that if you see her on your live stream, it will be the last face you ever see, the last sound you ever hear, a blood-curdling Number 1. Bob Hickman. Bob Hickman claims God entered his body like a body his same size and has paid a fortune to Facebook and YouTube to advertise his bizarre videos, talking about his experience being tortured with God inside him, all the while exercising in the nude. While many people online have spoken to Bob personally because he has called their phones randomly, one question still remains. Is Bob actually gay, or is it the demon possessing him, forcing him to commit gay acts on other men? We may never fully get to the bottom of all these mysteries, but one thing is certain: this stupid voice I am doing will be stuck in your head the rest of the night, because tonight on the show, we are talking about the YouTuber named Chills and his bizarre AU gold. Let's go bully the internet. This is Pod Awful.
Pod Awful TV.
Oh, y'all is doing it right. Pod Awful sucks, you faggot. Buzz boy. Keep your day job. You scam artist, douchebag. You're the worst, motherfucker. Just give up. You fucking little piece of shit.
You're crazy. You're sick of your head.
Fucking dweeb, faggot, jackass. Pod Awful sucks. You know what? You're not funny. I want to really kick your ass.
You're human trash.
My mom doesn't like it when I mention Pod Awful anymore.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm kidding. I could never. It's impossible to get that voice out of my head now. I'm your host, Jesse. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me live here at Pod Awful. We're live as we are every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. PodAwful.tv. Got the live video chat going on right now. Let's see what they're saying in the chat room. Oh my God, everybody sing along. Yes, fuck Chills. You guys don't like Chills? Chills really got the big subs, class of 2020. Man, what an intro. They say people seem to enjoy that intro in the chat room. Thank you guys so much for that, by the way. Okay, well, welcome. We are making fun of Chills tonight on the show. If you don't know who I'm talking about, this guy Chills, he's one of those top 15. I mean, he's literally the top 15 guy
found this out the hard way. He does scary videos. We have some friends that do these sort of compilation scary videos, creepypasta internet things, and he's just one of those guys. He's maybe the biggest guy. He's got millions and millions of subs. If you've never seen his stuff before, I'll show it to you. And the reason we're interested in it is because he's one of the guys that after we started covering Bob Hickman on the internet, you know, much like the rest of the internet, he just decided after that to catch up. Why won't it let me bring this video up here? That's so weird. It's not letting me put the video on screen. It's just not going to let me do it. Well, it's a live show. I don't know what to tell you. It will not let... There we go. That was so strange. Okay. Creepy. Wow, guys. I don't know if you know this, but sometimes technology can be weird. And that was one of the top 15 creepy... He really talks like this. I got to show it to you. So he talks about Bob Hickman. This got me interested. You know, somebody in our Facebook cult actually brought this up. They said, check out this video. He's covering one of the goons, Bob Hickman. This guy got into my body, like a body my same size, like me floating into you or you floating into me, that we talk about all the time on the show, figuring I'd be interested in it. The funny thing is, I already know this guy, Chills. I don't know most of the big internet guys, but I had heard this guy before. My friend Ryan and I, we make fun of this guy's voice all the time. He actually does a great impression of Chills. And we said, by the way, remember that guy Chills? Why does he talk this way? So thank you to whoever posted this in our Facebook cult.
And all I can say is I thank Dad for making me strong.
Join our cult on Facebook. podawful.com/cult.
Yeah, God.
All right, important you join that cult. It will inspire shows sometimes. podawful.com/cult. Here we go. Here's one of his latest videos. It's called 5 Scary Videos You Will Regret Watching.
These are the types of creepy videos that left people never feeling the same again. Number 5.
He's not joking. All of his videos sound this way.
I covered Peggy the Headache doll a while ago, but she is up to new antics at a different location that's really creepy. This cursed doll, believed to be possessed by the angry spirit of a girl who lost her life during the 1930s, does not appreciate.
So I hear this the first time, and you're thinking exactly what I've trained you guys well enough at this point that you must be thinking the way I'm thinking. Oh, he has autism. No big deal. Okay, fine. He's got autism. We're used to that. Fine.
Appreciate being gawked at by visitors for money, as the CCTV video shows. Peggy squares up with a random woman as soon as she enters the exhibit. It looks like the woman could have tripped, but look close.
Or maybe he's just like, you know, that old type of gay guy? Like, there used to be this type of gay guy where if they made it past 38 years old, you know, in the 80s, that was 80s and 90s, it was pretty dicey. And I don't mean Dice Clay. It was pretty dicey to be a gay guy because you hit like 35 and that's a miracle, like being a black guy, you know? And then all of a sudden they get PrEP and now they're living a little longer. But back then it was so rare to become a gay guy past 40 years old that when you did it, you became this weird inhuman monster man where you were like Vincent Price. You would walk around your home. For some reason, you would decorate your home like a haunted mansion. And all the walls would have red velvet all over them. And you'd walk around going, I seem to have misplaced my socks. I don't know why. It just happened. Okay? An old gay guy in the 90s was a vampire. That's just what happens to you. They slept in a coffin, standing straight up. I've seen it. Don't ask me how. So, I'm like, maybe he's just an old gay guy, but he sounds young, and then you kind of listen to it a little more, and you're like...
There's no step, nothing to trip over. The floor is even.
So I'm not even paying attention to the content, by the way. Forget, who cares? It's fake. Everything is just, ooh, isn't this spooky? And then there's a red arrow or a red circle over everything. It's Spooky Charles. You know, I'm only into this guy because he's covering Bob Hickman, one of our goons. But this voice, it's a mystery I don't think the internet solved this yet. I just found out today, apparently PewDiePie, he's talked about this guy before. So if somebody has solved this mystery, let me know the answer. We're going to try to solve it tonight, but if somebody already did it, fine. I can hang up my hat. We got a short show tonight. Good. I got other things I could probably do. I don't know. I could go down to the Applebee's and snort some bone. Who knows? So, and that's not a 90s gay guy expression. Well, it might be. I don't know. We'll have to ask the Bone Crusher. But I'm obsessed with the reasoning here, and I've got some evidence to point that toward one thing. I've got some evidence. We got evidence, okay? The evidence is mounting. Let's listen.
Feet are firmly planted on the floor. She goes to lean on the doorway and one hand flies up to her chest. The other
Angie in the chat room says 90% of Chill's comments are comments about his voice. I mean, how could they not be? How could you watch? I've talked about this before. I believe that there's a thing called digital litter. And I think most of the content that many of you subscribe to on the internet, most of it is digital litter. It's just garbage. And I sit here all the time. You know, I'm made of internet. I'm constantly watching everything online from my control room here. And I'm wondering, how do you guys watch this stuff? So there's two options. There are only two options if you're watching Chills. Chills, their audience members are either just, their brains have now melted. There's nothing left. Their head is a receptacle for the internet's garbage, or you're watching it because you're interested in the mystery. Is it brain damage? Is it do all of his recordings accidentally just expand once he uploads them? Who knows? Maybe he doesn't even realize he sounds that way. There's got to be people out there like that. So his comment section being filled with that, I think, dear God, every day that there's enough people out there cognizant enough, you know, with enough goo left inside their brain to throw together the comment to say, okay, but why you do be talking that way? Listen, I mean, I came here to get spooked and all, but what up with that? Why going? Why? Huh?
They're grabbing the wall to keep from getting shoved over.
Like maybe he's just a valley girl. Maybe he grew up in California or something and he just, you know, he's a bit of an airhead. That's a possibility too. I don't know. But I'm detecting something else. You know, at first I thought this was an autistic lilt in his voice, but I'm detecting something else that I'm pretty good at detecting.
Shoving is just one of the many reasons why Peggy can never stay housed in one.
Ooh, there it was right there. Perfect timing. Housed. Why Peggy can never stay housed. This, if I had to take a guess, is a Canadian guy. Okay, now I love Canadians. You know, half of our audience, it seems like, are Canadians. I don't know how we get so many Canadians watching this show. I love them, but I have noticed that if you get them from the right section of Canada, there's this little strip up the middle of Canada. I can't tell you. I don't know. It's in Medicine Hat. I couldn't possibly tell you the geography. Every city and province and town in Canada sounds like it was made up by a toddler trying to write for Jimmy Neutron or something. I don't. It's in Yellowknife. I don't know where it is, but there's this strip of Canada where everyone there sounds autistic, even if they're not. Now, as we've learned from Love on the Spectrum, autism is a spectrum, and this guy's probably on it to some degree, but we'll explore that further. Let's do this. Let's jump ahead and maybe get to the Bob section of things here. I can't tell what's Bob's videos. Bob's videos are not meant to be creepy, which is an incredible thing to keep in mind, but they're so strange. You could easily mistake any of this stuff for Bob's videos. Okay, I think this is, yeah, we're about there. Right here.
And to find out, number one, This channel has been getting really popular with the Spanish-speaking YouTube community, and due to that popularity, I decided to analyze it. Specifically, one picture that I came across that I'll get to in just a moment. Bob is a man who operates a YouTube channel and declared years ago that he's possessed by a spirit. According to him, the
A spirit. See, there's all of these different factors going into his voice where it could be any and all of these things, I'm guessing.
spirit's ultimate goal is to destroy him.
Destroy him.
And there's nothing
I've had to sit on the phone and listen to Ryan do this voice for what felt like 2 hours, but must have been 3.
he can do to save himself, since it's all caused by powers beyond his control. Anyway, this picture has recently made rounds online in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. In it, there appears to be a hand that sticks out the back of his SUV and seems to be reaching out for help, possibly.
See, I look at this and I immediately, when I see a red circle in a YouTube thumbnail, I go, oh, it's fake. Oh, okay, this is clickbait. It's fake. And the irony is, he used this as the thumbnail to his video, but he's about to debunk it. And this is his number 1. So this is the top 5. And number 1, he's going to say, yeah, it's not real. Spoilers, by the way. Then I used this same photo as the thumbnail for the live stream for this episode to get you guys to click. But this is not clickbait, okay? That's fake. He's even going to say it's fake. But I have a theory for that as well.
Trying to get the attention of the car behind them. Meanwhile, Bob stares at the camera with a dazed and perhaps slightly angry expression. Though it's hard to tell what kind of mood he's in, to be honest. I went to his channel hoping to find the original thumbnail image for comparison purposes, but I was unable to find it.
Yeah, I can't find this picture anywhere either. Apparently, this only shows up on Spanish channels, which, by the way, isn't it great? There are Spanish speakers out there who are checking into Bob. If you don't know this, if you haven't seen all of our Bob Hickman coverage in the past, again, we're pretty obsessed with this guy. Bob Hickman, he uses Google Translate to translate his word. He doesn't speak any other languages, but he's got entire other channels, messages, videos, web posts, everything in other languages that he himself does not speak. And somehow Spanish speakers have caught on to this. What do we have? I've got, here's one of the Spanish speaking things that Bob has been talking, or that has been talking about Bob. Let's take a look at this.
El cerebro humano es curioso. Pareciera ser la mejor evidencia de los primeros pasos de una naturaleza que está recién perfeccionándolo.
How is this real?
Aprendiendo a crear algo así. Son cientos los trastornos mentales que puede tener la mente humana. Algunos sutiles, otros son extremadamente...
Okay, just so you know, it's a real Spanish thing. Now let's skip to the Bob part here if I can find it. Going to be a little harder on the Spanish speaking one, I'm sure. Sorry, this thing is still... I'm getting that spooky thing going on with the computer where it still doesn't want me to use my other screen. Okay, I think this is it.
Cientos de personas a lo largo de la historia de la humanidad.
What if we tune into this and he's like...
Han realizado acciones sorprendentes o despiadadas en nombre de la religión. Es que no hay mayor motivación para alguien que creer fervientemente que su...
So he's showing, for the audio folks out there, he's showing the Pope. He's showing people praying.
religión lo ha elegido a él.
Religión.
Ya sabes, para llevar a cabo algún bien superior.
El número 5.
De seguro es uno de los motivantes más potentes que ha creado la humanidad. Te cuento esto porque el youtuber que estás por ver...
Now it weirdly transitions from the Pope to Bob Hickman's tactical bowl cut.
Cree fervientemente que Dios ha entrado en él. Bob Hickman.
Bob Hickman. Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm here to spook you. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 spooky videos. Número 3, Bob Hickman.
Es el nombre de la persona tras el canal titulado
Sorry. Los Dios has entered his body like a body his same size.
Dios ha entrado en mi cuerpo como un cuerpo
Oh, con cuerpo.
de
Sorry.
mi mismo tamaño. Apenas miras uno de sus videos, notarás que lleva el corte de pelo típico de los monjes antiguos, y además notarás que su rostro está siempre sudado. Según nos explica en uno de sus videos,
This is so surreal.
el poseer a Dios dentro de su cuerpo lo mantiene sudando todo el tiempo. Según él, es la
I
única
wonder what the Spanish words for bowl cut are. Is he even talking about it, or is it like every Mexican kid basically has this haircut for some time, so this might not even be weird to them.
persona bautizada por el mismo Dios en todo este planeta.
God entered into my body like a body my same size, like me floating into you or you floating into me.
Anyway, there's a Spanish speaker. Well, I just thought that was cool, you know? Had to take a look at that. Seemed like a good idea. All right, so let's go back to the Chills video here. See what Chills has to say about Bob Hickman.
A quick look at his YouTube channel reveals that a lot of his thumbnails are car selfies, and none of them have a hand in the background. So
What would be incredible is if all of them had a hand in the background.
my guess is that someone took a still frame from one of his videos and just photoshopped the hand in, and if we enhance it, the outline of the hand looks kind of wrong, like it was cut and pasted into the shot. So in conclusion, I don't think he's driving around.
His face is always sweat, it says. Thank you, Spanish speaker. That's an incredible thing. The Spanish one. His face is always sweaty. Yeah, it's not sweat, actually. No, he's injecting his skin with acid. Which kind of acid is it again? It's not hydrochloric, but it's something. It's something you probably should not be injecting your skin with.
With anything like that in the back seat.
See, you hear that, and it's like, that's straight up autism. Now, okay, the video's basically over there. I have to point this out. I watch this, I see him analyze the thumbnail, and I find it so odd that a guy like this who takes everything seriously, like all this, he's not a debunking kind of guy, he's not a skeptic. His whole thing is to spook you. So it seems odd to me that not only is he debunking this thumbnail, but that's number one, and he's using the thumbnail as clickbait. So then I had to think about it. I have a theory that Chills himself put out this image, maybe even sent it to some of those spooky Mexican guys, and got it out there so that he could do this. Basically, so he could put that in the thumbnail of this video. Now, that might sound crazy, but spooky YouTuber guys have been caught doing exactly this sort of thing before. And I know for a fact he works with other spooky YouTube people. In fact, if you go to his YouTube channel, the sidebar lists other people not related to him who all have their own spooky channels. Also, how would you even find the spooky Spanish-speaking channels? He's a Canadian guy, I'm assuming. I don't think he speaks Spanish. So how did he find that stuff? The only way I even found the clip I just showed you is because he linked to it in his description. I tried to find this thumbnail somewhere else, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Wrong. Like it was cut and pasted into the shot.
See, why would you reveal that? Like it was cut and pasted into the shot. I think this Chills guy is a bigger charlatan than people even give him credit for. There's some people out there who probably watch his stuff and already go, okay, you're making some of these things up. You're putting a story behind a picture that doesn't go. You're doing this, you're doing that. Just scummy YouTuber moves. We're all kind of used to it, and who cares? I think it goes deeper than that. I think it goes all the way down to that voice. I think that voice he's doing is part of the scam. I was talking to Ryan about this a while ago, and I brought this up to him again today. And I said back then, when he started doing the impression, I was like, I know that guy, and there's other YouTubers who do that voice. I've run into other YouTube channels
who also talk like that. They do listicles and everything is like this. And every time I'd run into one, I'd go, what is this voice? Did somebody do a study that found out that if you talk that way, people will listen? They're more likely to stay engaged or something. It's got to be a scam. There's got to be something to it. Now, I found out the hard way that it turns out some of those channels are also Chills. He first got big on a channel called Top 15. And then when he started doing Top 15 spooky videos, he realized, oh, this is a market. So he launched a second channel doing just spooky videos. But he still does the spooky videos on the main channel. And he's got a bunch of other channels too. So now I can't be sure that these other channels I ran into years ago, I can't be sure that they weren't all him trying to get a channel to take off. You know, I don't know when he got big, but I don't think it was until 2016 or so. And from my research, somewhere in there is when that voice started. Now, everybody brings this up. Everybody talks about this with him to the point where he has a video addressing his voice, which I've never seen it done before, where a guy had to tell people, here's why I talk stupid. Okay? So here's Chills. Here's him explaining himself. And, I'll just let him speak for himself. This is his Why Do I Talk Like This 2 million subscribers special. Oh, you know what? I feel like this video is pretty normal from him. I feel like it would be weird to listen to him without spooky music in the background. So if you don't mind, I'll just get a little... There we go. Perfect.
All right. How's it going, buddy? Hopefully it is streaming live on Chills right now. As you can tell, I'm a little bit nervous.
Did he start off by saying, how's it going, buddy, or everybody? Because if he said buddy, I was right. He's Canadian. Let's listen again.
All right. How's it going, buddy? Hopefully it is streaming live on...
He said buddy, right? Am I crazy? This is a Canadian guy.
All right. How's it going, buddy?
How's it going, buddy? You're addressing 2 million people. You can't just say buddy.
Hopefully it is streaming live on Chills right now. As you can tell, I'm a little bit nervous for this live stream, like I usually am with all the live streams, so please bear with me there. Thank you all so much for 2 million subscribers.
So, just to start off with, he absolutely talks in sort of this nervous, autistic way. He's got this creepy smile where you can tell it's because he doesn't like being on camera. He doesn't like showing himself. He's very nervous about doing this. But the odd thing is, the spookiest thing of all, he's not doing the voice.
It's absolutely amazing. It feels like, just yesterday that we hit 1 million subscribers, and just the growth and the support has just been unreal. There's a couple things I want to talk about in this live stream. I guess a few of them I've never really discussed before on the channel. I'm sure the one that you're the most interested in is the titular Why Do I Talk Like This? And we will definitely get to that, as well as I guess a little bit of background history into the channels, because I think they kind of they go hand in hand when explaining.
Okay, so very odd that in the video where he's talking about why he talks that way, he does not talk that way. Somehow the music even knows that this is a very spooky thing.
That whole side. Before we get to that, I'm sure you can see right there, I recently released a small mixtape.
What?
Songs. I know YouTube rap has a pretty bad reputation, and I'm not going to say these songs are good or mind-blowing by any means, but I definitely poured my heart and soul into...
Wait, he's doing rap? This guy. Now, I want to see the explanation for the voice, but if Chills is doing rap, well, that's just something I gotta see. Let's take a look at the rap career of an autistic Canadian kid who reads spooky pastas on the internet. Let's, okay, here we go. He's actually got a rap video called Number 15 after his YouTube career. You know what? It might be good. Let's give him a shot, shall we? Number 15 by Chills.
Okay, this is pretty cool visuals so far. I don't know about the music. I wouldn't listen to this. Although I do like the fact that underneath it, like, he can't get away from the spooky stuff. There's sort of that spooky bass underneath.
How's it going, buddy? They say my voice.
How's it going, buddy? Is that his catchphrase? Is that why he said that? Because somebody in the chat said what I was thinking. They said he meant to say, how's it going, everybody? But now his music starts that way. How's it going, buddy? Let's get really petty. Can we get really, really petty on this? Computer enhance. Zoom in. Engage. Okay. I just want to play this back one more time here. Watch as his head zooms into frame here, what happens.
How's it going?
So if you're not catching what I'm catching, they left this in. For the audio people, this is a huge special effect. It's his head floating through graphics. He's got the number 15 on his forehead, and his head kind of zooms into frame. And as it does, he accidentally starts to sing his song a beat too early. And they try to cover it up with digital glitch graphics, but it doesn't work. You can still see it.
How's it going, buddy? They say my voice is cursed.
How's it going, buddy? They say my voice is cursed. And oh my God, look at that! No! Immediate smash cut to Chills's titties. I might need the spooky music back for this part. Oh my God. Okay, so I get it. You've got a big audience. You're into music. You use that platform to try to launch a rap career, a music career. I would do the same thing in your place, except for one thing. I'd never appear on camera if I had milkable titties. Somebody call Dax Herrera because this cow needs to be milked. Now listen, Chills might be a very chill guy. He might be nice, okay? But buddy, from buddy to buddy, okay? Listen up, man. Don't do this to yourself. You put it out there. Millions of people have seen this thing, apparently. You got millions of views on this. You didn't have to film yourself from below. That's the most important note here, okay? You could have just kept your head on screen the whole time. I wouldn't recommend that either. It kind of looks like you suffer from acromegaly. You know, it kind of looks like Mud Fossil University would be excited to dig you up in a pit somewhere. But you could have just left the head on there. We could have just stared at your gigantic jaw. Instead, you're like, you know what? I need to get my titties right on screen. Could you just film me from underneath my tits?
I tried bumping your songs, that was even worse. The last thing you'd want is to end up in a hearse. In the meme graveyard, what we all deserve. I got the
Oh, and now this is, here's the thing. Every time you think you've got him figured out, something new happens. Here he is getting a tattoo. He clearly already has tattoos. I thought this was some sort of unfortunate giant 12-year-old boy, but he's covered in tattoos. So now I'm thinking an autistic guy cannot get a tattoo. He would be holding his ears and screaming the entire time, going, oh, daddy. So I think we've just eliminated full AU gold from the equation here.
Foot lettuce, you got a foot fetish. Pockets full of relish, I bet you hella jealous.
And all of the lyrics are references to the things he does in his YouTube videos, but this is not a comedy rap. He has multiple rap songs on his channel. He's taking this seriously, okay? He's the Mike David of YouTube rap.
I'm the #1 scariest. When it comes
And he does have a lesbian haircut. Great point in the chat room.
to giving chills, I'm nefarious.
He doesn't add up, says Kate T. Yeah, he doesn't. It's like every time you try to pin him down, something weird's going on.
It's melee, not melee. I don't care what you say. I've been balling like Ray Ray.
So that's I think that is, I don't know this for a fact, but just knowing the context of this song, he says it's melee, not melee. I don't care what you say. Almost certainly that's a reference to he got called out for saying melee wrong in one of his own scripts. And this is the thing. This is what makes me so angry about digital litter. Okay? This is the part where the people I'm making fun of would say, "Oh, you're just jealous. You're just jealous that we have so many people watching." I'm not jealous. I'm angry. It's wrath. Okay? The sin I'm experiencing is wrath because I hate the fact that people who are so clearly stupid have these giant followings. Now, obviously that's been a thing forever. That predates the internet for sure. But when your entire job is reading words to other human beings, you should probably know how to pronounce those words. And this guy and so many of these other channels like this dude, they're clear. I don't know where they're even getting their words from. They've clearly never heard the words before, which makes me go, they are stealing these words. They're not even writing their own scripts. They must be stealing them from Reddit posts or something, because you don't use words you don't know. You don't say words you don't know how to pronounce. And I have proof that he records words he doesn't know how to pronounce. He actually recorded himself live recording one of his scripts. You won't believe how much he screws it up. Keep in mind, at the beginning of this episode, I did a parody of his video, and I wrote it in, I don't know, 10 minutes maximum. 10 minutes max it took me on that. I don't think it took that long. And I recorded it. I had one slip up, and I just kept going. It's reading words, and they're the words I typed. How could I not know how melee is pronounced if I typed melee? I wouldn't choose that word if I was nervous about it. I think a lot of these people start doing this when they are kids, when they don't know any better, when they're just copying these other YouTubers. I don't know who they're copying. They're copying somebody else. They saw somebody else do it, and they're like, it's like Stallmaster, Master Studios, this big retarded guy we follow on our Friday shows, where he watches this other guy called McJuggernuggets. And so all of Master Studios' videos are just copies of McJuggernuggets, but they don't make any sense because he doesn't understand the context behind it. So I think these 16-year-old kids start these YouTube channels. Somehow there's enough dummies out there that get them popular, and then they're stuck doing it forever. And when they get to a point where they're popular enough, they go, no, my thing was I wanted to be a rapper. And so we end up with garbage like this on top of it.
I get spins like a Beyblade, and I'm real with you. No matter what I say or what I do, you know I always gotta stay true to my roots. Number 15. You can catch me on your screen. On your screen. Fit so scary, make you scream. Treat every day like...
He's very elegant, by the way. Treat every day like Halloween. He's so elegant. All of his movements are so elegant when he bothers to move. But most of the time, he keeps his hands clasped and down here. He's nervous. Something is making him nervous to do all this stuff, despite the fact that he's done it a bunch of times now. When he raps, he's not doing all the rap hands, yo, homie, pointing at the camera stuff that Sam Hyde invented. He's not doing any of that. He's just, hello, I'm a good boy. His mom might be filming these. Who is filming this? I can't imagine he's got boys. Does he have a crew, a posse? The Chills posse?
Halloween, living, walking, talking mean. Number 15. Skirt off in a time machine.
But then he says stuff like skirt off, and you can't say skirt. Okay, I know he meant skirt. I know what you mean. You can't be this Canadian and say black people stuff. It doesn't work. It just functionally can't happen. Okay? A black guy gets away with it because he acts like he doesn't care while he says it. We all just... The biggest scam of our entire lives is this idea that black guys are innately cool when they're the dorkiest motherfuckers on earth. You know, everything they do is so... I mean, they're into Dragon Ball Z. They all want to be Goku, for crying out loud. They're weebs. Everything they do is so dorky, but they do this thing where they're like, but shit, but what if I was drunk when I said it? You know, that the implication is like, but I'm also stoned. So, well, a kid couldn't be stoned. A child dork couldn't be stoned. So when Wiz Khalifa says, skirt, I don't know if he says that. That's probably too old a reference at this point. Who says skirt? Is that even a thing anymore? When one of the Knights champions, and of course their lives matter, when one of the Knights champions says skirt, it's in the middle of him being like, yo, I was just popping pills and who cares about paying my taxes? Not me. I got 100 kids by 100 moms, and I don't know even one of their jobs. You're like, what? Did that even make sense? Physically, legally, if we wrote that down, could people follow along? Or I don't know. He seemed like he didn't care when he said it, so it must have been cool. If you're Canadian, I don't care who you are. Okay, there's a lot of Canadians I love, a lot of them. You know, whole lot. There's not a single cool Canadian on God's green earth. You don't have it. All right? What I like about you is not a cool factor. There's nothing there. You can never get away with going, skirt. It's like Mersh doing it. It's worse than that. At least Mersh is a wigger. I don't know. There's something about a Canadian trying to be cool where it always comes off as clown shoes.
Pull up in a limousine. Something that you've never seen. Living, walking, talking mean. Number 15.
What is this pose? I'm
something that you've never.
Look at this. Hello, everybody. So again, he keeps forcing his mom to film him from below. He's like, Mom, I need the internet to see that my nipples are on the bottom of my pecs. Mom, film my pec. The bottom of my pec, where my nipple is, it points down. His nipples point down. And so Mom gets down there on her knees, and he looks to be about my height, 6'7", probably a little heavier than me, though. He's probably reaching 300 pounds. And he's doing this thing where he doesn't know how his arms work. And I get it, man. Okay, I've been 15. He's not 15. This song is just called Number 15. But I've been 15. I've had that moment in my life where I'm like, what am I even doing with these stupid things? They're just noodles hanging off of me. What are they doing here? I wish I could just take my arms off when I'm not using them. It'd be nice. He's that way all day, every day. His arms are just a nuisance in his way. So the camera's below him, and his arms are lurched forward at the camera, like almost as if he's, puffing up. He's puffing chest to say, like, what are you going to do, sucker? Except every other part of his body reads, oh, I should probably hit this guy, right? Like, am I supposed to beat this guy up? It seems like he was born inside a locker, right? Like the way he styles his hair is getting swirlied.
Ever seen living, walking, talking mean. Number 15.
And he's being filmed below a tower, like some sort of amusement park ride. It's just, it makes you look weird. You're big, all right? You're a big, tall guy. I'm a big, tall guy. You should make your settings accommodate you. You shouldn't look too big for where you are. And I guess maybe the thought was if he stands under a tower, he won't look like a hulking nerd goo brain. But that angle, that weird Dutch angle they're using, and here we're just paused on a picture of his nipples right now. I can barely concentrate when I'm seeing this. But that angle they chose just makes it look like at any moment he might tip forward. Timber!
Hey, Dylan, ain't you mad? What? Why? Cause
What? Why?
I said you had a stupid voice.
How does he do that stupid voice?
Number 15.
No, number 50.
Wow. If PewDiePie can't do it, did he call him PewDiePie, by the way, in the song?
Number 50. Had a stupid. Hey, Dylan, ain't you mad? What? Why? Cause PewDiePie.
Cause PewDiePie. Does he think, is that a joke? Is he doing he's doing an impression of PewDiePie, right? He doesn't think it's pronounced that way. He's going PewDiePie, right? Is that what he's doing? I can't follow this stuff. It's for children. I'm an old man. I don't know what I'm going to do in a year. In 1 year from now, I can't. This won't make any sense for me to be doing anymore. This looks weird for me to be talking about this. This kid's 23 years old, probably. I mean,
How does he do that stupid voice?
Number 15.
No,
that chest is bumping. They say he's got breasts.
But number 50.
See, PewDiePie can't do it, so I feel like I'm still allowed to cover this, even though PewDiePie apparently did this already a long time ago.
Like that? And why? I have so many questions.
He has so many questions. Did PewDiePie ever figure out what's going on with the voice?
Oh my. Now I'm chillin'. I just might rejoice. This shit got me grinning. So it's all G, my guy. It's.
Oh no. Oh no. He just said my guy. That's like New York talk. You can't say my guy. Do you understand when white guys say my guy, they're joking? You can't say it. You can't say it seriously. But hang on. He was about to do the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
I just might rejoice. This shit got me grinning. So it's all G, my guy. It's me, not me.
No. He did a little dance move. And remember, he's afraid to move those arms. So that was big for him. They might have even had a choreographer on set for this.
Rejoice. This shit got me grinning. So it's all G, my guy. It's me, not.
He basically just does a circle with his arm and then a yes. But it's the daintiest yes you've ever seen.
Melee, I don't care what you say. I've been ballin' like Ray Ray. I get spins like a Beyblade. And I'm real with you no matter what I say.
I get spins like a Beyblade. I mean, spins. Like, that doesn't even make sense as a word anymore. Nobody, you don't have a record. You don't even have a CD.
What I do, you know I always gotta stay true to my roots. Number 15. You can catch me on your screen. On your screen. Fit so scary, make you scream. Treat every day like Halloween. Living, walking, talking.
Hilarious, holding his hands. Mommy, can I go on the ride? Not till you're done with your rap song, son. Okay, Mommy.
Number 15.
Wow, very cool, man. One of the coolest guys. Chills. Okay. I know I've got chills now. So let's go back to the video, the bizarre video where he's explaining his voice and yet not using the voice.
Just creating something I was happy with. So if you would want to give it a listen and tell me what you think, I would really appreciate that. It is available on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, those more premium streaming services, but it's also available totally for free here on YouTube and on SoundCloud. If you don't care at all about the music, then thank you for sitting through that small plug. And we'll move on.
He's so nervous. He's so nervous.
Really, what else I want to talk about, but all the music links are down below in the description.
Gulp. Okay, take a moment. Let's all do a Wang gulp in the middle of this. He's on pins and needles doing this. He doesn't want to talk about the voice thing. This is something he's been avoiding.
So, why do I talk like this? It's easily got to be the question I see the most on the channel.
If that's the case, stop talking that way. It's that simple. If the question you see, if most of your comments are, okay, but what's with the voice, bro? What are you doing? Yo, my guy, what are you up to?
then you should probably stop talking like that, because clearly you're capable of not talking this way.
In the comments, you know, in the end, this is my job, right? Chills, top 15.
Oh, there was a little bit of it. My job, right? But that's also just the Canadian thing. My job.
And so I always make sure to keep an eye on what the community's saying, kind of the reception that I'm getting, etc., etc. And it's always been...
He's got too many teeth for his mouth, they say in the chat room. Mersh is getting thirsty right now looking at this.
my narration style, which seems to be either you really like it or you really don't like it.
Who really likes it? Which one of you told him, yeah, this is good? I imagine you must talk that way too. Who's telling him this? Stop filling the boy's head with ideas.
So in regards to why I talk like this, it's not really something I have a definitive answer for.
You have to. You've gotta. Okay, you know what? You know what the question I get is? I don't get it that often that I gotta do something about it. But I get the whole thing about my long hair all the time, right? No big deal. I got long hair. Why do you have long hair, Jesse? I can tell you. If you want to know why I got long hair, I can tell you. You want to know about the stupid glasses? I could tell you all day. I know exactly the reasons for these things. If you talk like that, you got to know something about it. I refuse to believe you don't have a definitive answer on that. It's just okay, you know what? I might still be a little bit broken from learning about Juju the cow. I'll just let the man talk.
I don't have some sort of speech impediment or
disagree
anything along the lines of that, or maybe I do and I've just never been diagnosed with it. Before I really even started making YouTube videos, I didn't even realize that how I talked was, you know, deemed weird by some people. No one had really ever brought it up with me before.
Oh, there's a reason for that. He didn't used to talk this way in his videos. I've got an early video where he didn't use the voice. There are lies happening here. Some sort of nefarious mystery is being covered up.
It's really just always been how I've sounded, you know, narrating stuff or speaking out loud. I'm sure when I was in school giving my presentation, I sounded no different than I do now. But when I started Top 15s, I was 16 years old. I was in the 11th grade, I believe. So I was in grade 11, and it was never my intention to be the voice of the channel. I always wanted to be the guy running the channel, but at that time...
What? So your big aspiration at 16 was to just run a YouTube channel. You didn't want to be on it or produce the content. You just wanted to sort of create the channel and then let other people do... What?
I had to do everything when making...
I would think so. I would think when you, at 16 years old, started a YouTube channel, you would have to do everything.
These videos, because there simply was no money to bring on other people into these projects. I mean, in the end, I don't want to be trying to rip people off or not paying them what they're worth. So at that point, I just thought it was better if I was doing everything myself. So at that point in the channel, I didn't have any real proper recording equipment. I bought...
He's about to blame that voice on recording equipment. Listen, your voice can change depending on the settings and the equipment you've got. There's a lot of things that can change your voice. I have never seen a single bit of equipment, and I might know something about it. I've never seen a single piece of equipment that could make you talk like this. Which one of these knobs is it? Is it the expander? Let me fiddle around with these knobs back here and see. Maybe does gain make me talk like a gay guy? I don't know which one it is. Somebody help me with this. Do I have any audio files out there?
A mic on eBay for $35. And I didn't have like a proper recording area, so I would kind of just get real close to the mic and whisper, not whisper, I guess, but talk more softly, I feel like, than I do now in the videos.
It's not his fault that the old mic had an AU filter. If it filtered it out, well, yeah, it filtered it out before and now it doesn't. You might be right.
And I guess that's
When you use, the stuff in like GarageBand or Final Cut or whatever, it does say AU before all of those.
That's why I see sometimes people try to tell me that, oh, I sound completely different in my earlier videos and now it's just some sort of act I'm putting on. I don't know, to piss people off. I really don't understand what would be my motivation behind it, but
That's it. We found it. Cut the spooky music. That's the motivation. He's telling on himself. This is what liars do. He's a charlatan, he's a fraud, he's a liar, and he's telling on himself. We've seen people do this. He's giving you the answer, okay? I don't know, like, what would my reasoning for that be? I mean, would it be me just lying to you on purpose and just telling you I'm not doing it on purpose when I am, just to piss people off?
talk more softly, I feel like, than I do now in the videos. And I guess that's why I see sometimes people try to tell me that, oh, I sound completely different in my earlier videos and now it's just some sort of act I'm putting on. I don't know, to piss people off. I really don't understand what.
Yes, that's it. That's been my theory for a very long time, is that the people who do these stupid voices on these YouTube channels, and again, maybe it's not ones exactly like his, but there are other people out there, other YouTubers who their whole thing is talking in this bizarre cadence you've never heard on the entire earth before. You could have met 1 billion people and you would have never heard anyone from any language talk in these weird cadences they use. And I believe the point is, there must be some study out there about this. I don't know. I believe the point is that it gets you to keep watching because you're sitting there going, wait, why is he talking that way? Wait, what? What's going on? Well, let me... And so instead of pausing the video, you go down to the comments. You go, let me see what's... Okay, so they're all talking about, well, let's see what the answer is. So the video's still running while you're trying to find the answer, and now it's too late, you're in. And now YouTube's going to recommend you the videos every time.
That would be my motivation behind it, but that's really the only...
Yeah, people used to get pissed off at him for the voice, by the way. I saw somebody comment about this. They said, everyone was pissed about the voice until he did a face reveal. Now, they didn't explain that comment, but they used an emoji or something. The tone of that comment was, once he showed his face, people were okay with him talking retarded. Now, I don't mean to say anything offensive here about you chills, okay? But I think people assume you're retarded. I think you have this weird, sort of soft, simpleton look to you. And once you revealed yourself, people are like, oh, he talks that way because of a problem. He's got some sort of mental issue going on.
The explanation I guess I can think of as to why I would sound any differently in those older videos. Now, I mean, I have a proper recording area. I can speak.
It's like an exaggerated Leafy voice. Leafy does kind of do that, but he's not as bad as some of the ones I'm talking about.
A lot more fully, and maybe I do sound differently as a result of that. But at that point in the channel, it still felt like I was going to just be the producer. It was still like, as soon...
That's it. That's his entire explanation about his voice. There's no more. That's it. His answer is, I don't know. I don't think I'm doing it. All the while, you're sitting here watching him not doing the voice. It gets stranger. This is the prestige part of all of this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to reveal something to you. I was hiding something from you this entire time, okay? It actually gets a little bit weirder. This video, I've been playing for you at 1.5 times speed. Now, the entire time, at no point did you probably think, oh, he sounds strange. He sounds sped up. It sounded normal, right? Well, let me take it, and I'll prove it here. Let me put this video now on normal speed from 1.5, and let's listen to it again with the way he actually typically talks. And again, this is not his presentational voice. This is just how he talks.
All right. How's it going, buddy? Hopefully it is streaming live on Chills right now. As you can tell, I'm a little bit nervous for this live stream like I usually am with all the live streams, so please bear with me there. Thank you all so much for 2 million subscribers. It's, it's absolutely amazing. It feels like,
Apparently one person called it in the chat. Somebody thought it was 1.25 speed. Nope. 1.5. Here's how he normally talks.
Just yesterday that we hit 1 million subscribers, and just the growth and the support has just been unreal. There's a couple things I want to talk about in this live stream. I guess a few of them I've never really.
Now, why did I do this? You might ask yourself, what does this even prove? I was watching the video and I was going, holy cow. He doesn't sound anything like his narration thing. It's not a speech impediment. He's not retarded. But at the same time, he's so slow. So I put it on 1.25 originally just to hear it a little faster. I was getting bored. And then I was like, that almost sounds like the way he actually talks, minus the lils, minus this thing. He normally talks at this speed, but then he does this thing. The speed is a little faster. So then I put it up on 1.5 and I was like, that's almost normal. It was actually closer at 1.5. So not only does he not normally do this, but he doesn't normally speak at the speed he uses in those things, which means one of two things. Either when he's recording the narration, he somehow forces himself to talk faster and talk in that stupid way, or he is speeding up his narrations in post. Okay? Jesus, we aren't all like this. Jesse says a Canadian in the chat room, I'm assuming. He kind of sounds like Corey.
Discussed before on the channel. I'm sure the one that you're the most interested in is the titular.
This is the
Why
real
do I
speed.
talk like this? And we will definitely get to that.
So even when you slow him down, even when he is his normal slow self, he doesn't really, those words are not being stretched out. Now, I told you I've got a video here of him actually live streaming himself, recording his narration. Okay? Let's take a look at that for a second. And I just want to figure this out. I'm lost when I watch this. Okay, so he's just starting up the stream.
But it looks to me that everything is working now.
So he's got the words, his script is on screen, and then he's in the corner there. So he's going to start
Yeah,
recording.
I can see the chat starting to blow up, so I guess everyone here.
Now, this is the regular speed. I have this on normal speed, right? Yeah, this is on normal speed. So now he's talking a little bit faster than he did in that other video.
Oh, I didn't see Corpse Husband. How's it going, man?
And you can really hear that Canadian accent. This is almost another voice at this point. That's not the voice in the last video, and it's not the voice of his narration. What happens when he goes from this voice to start narrate? Does he jump into the narration voice?
So today we are going to be narrating
and now he's back to the slow voice. What is going on?
Top 15 cursed movie sets. And the last live stream I did, I believe on Tuesday, it went over really good, so I'm doing this again. And
he's Scott from Australia.
If you guys continue to like it, we can hopefully make this a regular thing. All right, well, let's get going on this.
Anytime. Come on, chills. Here we go. And play.
Number 15, The Ghost of Goodnight Lane. Aline Bijan is a famous filmmaker whose career comes from humble paranormal origins. As such, he is probably one of the few directors that have been directly inspired by ghosts.
Whoa!
23
He hit that ghost ghosts. My goddamn ghost.
years ago, Aline bought
That was super Canadian, that ghost. He didn't even do his thing. So he jumps into the narration. He does the thing. He gets to ghosts, and his Canadian accent takes over so hard he can't drag it out. He doesn't say ghosts. He says ghosts.
2 buildings and converted them into a single movie studio. An old ranch once stood on. An old ranch once stood
I'm not hitting that over and over again. That's live.
on the property in the late 1800s, where no less than 5 people are rumored to have died. When Aline started to hear shuffling noises around corners and in closets, he soon concluded that he wasn't working alone. Coworkers began to vouch for him, saying that they saw heavy filming equipment move on its own.
Okay, this part is great. All right, so he's already had so much trouble with his own script. And as you may be able to see, there's a word coming up here where I refuse to believe he is the one who added this to this script. There is no way on earth he knew this word. Listen to this. This is very strange, they say in the chat room. This is a mystery. Okay, remember, we're on a spooky subject here. This is more mysterious than anything Chills has ever covered. I should be playing the spooky music right now. But let's hear him.
As well as phantasmal. Yeah, I'm going to double check the pronunciation on that.
Maybe double check the pronunciation on pronunciation as well. So there's this word. It's phantasmal. Okay? Phantasmal. He doesn't know that word. It's in his script. How did it get there? I guess it was a goddamn ghost. Must have been a goddamn ghost. So, what is going on? There's so many strange goings-ons here. So now he's going to look up how to say it. Let's see if he gets it right. Take it away, Chills. All right, he's Googling. Phantasmal pronunciation.
Phantasmal.
And so the thing says to him, phantasmal. And he goes, phantasmal. So it just told him how to say it, and he still doesn't know how to say it. So let's go back to the script. Now he's got man, locked and loaded. Let's do this. Number 15. Here are the top 15 beheading videos of journalists in Iran. Number 15, Nick, what was that guy's name? Nick Cave?
As well as
wow, this is a gory one. Watches ISIS saws his head off slowly. You'd think this would go a lot faster, but they really have to work the knife. I hope you're not watching this late at night, because if you are, ISIS could be standing right behind you and you'd never see it because they're wearing full-on ninja costumes.
Phantasmal visions of as well as phantasmal visions.
How did that go again? Let's try that one more time.
Phantasmal. As well as
he literally has a ghostwriter. I think so, yeah. I get the joke, but I think you're right.
Phantasmal visions of as well as phantasmal visions of a
phantasmal. Does he go back and correct that?
As well as phantasmal visions of a strange figure. One of his
Nope! Good enough! Fuck it! We'll do it live! No, that's good. Now, how do you say this? Let me look it up. Phantasmal. Great, got it. Phantasadic. Okay, and as well as phantasmal visions. Perfect. Nailed it. Next.
Colleagues said that they felt an invisible hand harshly slap them in the face.
The phantasmal menace, yeah.
Visitors started to experience the same unexplainable sightings.
Here are the top 5 actors raped by Jews in Hollywood. Number 5, Heather O'Rourke. Ask Steven Spielberg what happened to Heather O'Rourke.
And a team of paranormal investigators soon verified that the studio was indeed haunted a short time later. Well, a paranormal presence would soon be enough to send most directors packing. Aline found inspiration from the ordeal instead.
Now, my guess is he doesn't normally screw up this much, that it must be the nerves while live streaming this, but there's no way to know for sure. Okay, so now it's even more confusing, right? The miasma of confusion on this guy's voice has only gotten thicker. I can almost not even see myself through the fog. And yet, there's more. Here is... Now, I told you, this guy originally had a channel called Top 15s. Here's a video from Top 15s in 2016. This is January of 2016. The top 15 scariest things caught on surveillance footage. This video may have been part of why he became Chills. Let's take a look.
In 2003, many guests staying at the Wingate Hotel began calling into the front desk and complained that there were screams coming from a certain room.
Where's the voice? Where is it? Remember, he said it was because he had old recording equipment. This is when that would have been, but he's talking the most normal we've heard so far. What is going on?
Room 209 to be exact. Apparently, no one was booked in that room, so a security worker was sent.
Now, this is cool. Hang on. Got a guy in the chat room. Trevor Stone says, I found the website he's stealing from. I'd love to see it. How can I get that, Trevor? Can you just link it here in the chat room? I'll take a look.
To see if maybe someone had broken in. The security footage catches the security worker approaching the door, and a woman screaming can be clearly heard.
Someone checked into that room. There should be nobody in there.
I'm going to let this play a little bit because maybe, is there even a moment of it? Is there even just the slightest hint that one day he will have the most autistic voice on the internet?
Wait 1 second, John. Amy, are you there? Yeah, John says he hears the screaming coming from that room. And I hear it too.
He knocks on the door several times, but there is no answer. The security manager tells this worker, John, to wait for the police to arrive. However, the worker enters the room anyway. After he opens the door, the screaming comes to a complete halt. Once he enters the room, a white ghostly apparition can be seen moving from the doorway and then disappearing.
He doesn't even have the Canadian
John reports
accent.
to the security manager that no one is in the room, but the furniture has been flipped and the carpet ripped up. John urges for the police to be called. Even the manager claims to be scared before the footage ends.
All right, now this might be nothing. Let's not get too excited. We'll wrap it up with that video there. Trevor posted a link to what he says is where he's stealing this content from. Top 15 movie sets believed to be cursed. Okay? And this website is called maxgax.com. For all I know, though, this could be his website. It could be the other way around. How do we know he's stealing from this, Trevor? Let's take a look. Top 15 movie sets believed to be cursed. Number 15, The Ghost of Goodnight Lane. Aline Bijan is a famous filmmaker whose career comes from humble paranormal origins. As such, he is probably one of the few directors that has been directly inspired by ghosts. 23 years ago, Aline bought two buildings. Yeah, this is the same script for sure. Wait, where's Phantasmal? Yeah, there it is. As well as phantasmal visions of a strange figure. How do we know this didn't copy him, though? We got to be sure this didn't copy him, Trevor. Is there any way to know? How did you find this? Did you just type in those words? My guess is they copied him. I would love to bust this guy on copying some shitty little blog from 200 years ago, but I'm pretty sure that his video came. Oh, look at this. In the URL, it says 2019. Wait, when was that stream I played? Hang on a second. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I was thinking 2016 because of the video we were just playing, but that might be. Let's see. When is this video from? No, this video is from 2017, man. That live stream is from 2017. I don't think so. I don't know. Impossible to tell, but there's a lot of blogs like this that will just completely copy the words from a YouTube video just to get clicks. If you can find me some proof that this was around first and not his video, then I would love to go along with that. But I can't do it. You know, as a news reporter, I don't think I can go along with that. None of his YouTube videos are on the site. He didn't know how to say the word, though. That's a good point. He didn't know how to say the word. maxgax.com. I don't know. That's a mystery. We're going to have to delve into that a little bit deeper. There's a lot of mysteries surrounding this guy. I would say with the current information we have, knowing he didn't used to talk that way, knowing he doesn't actually talk that way in normal life, knowing that he changes his voice, and knowing that he kind of did what seemed like a little tell on himself. Why would I do that? Just to piss people off? I put all those things together. I would say I think he believes that voice is the key to his success. I think he knows that doing that voice gets people talking, and it's a way to stand out from the pile of litter that is on the internet that are these listicle videos. If it's all digital litter, then his is the very least like, you know, the fully intact, bright white, clean toilet in the middle of that. We're like, okay, so somebody just threw away a perfectly good toilet. How did that even get there? Everything else is just refuse. It's just banana peels and balled up pieces of paper, and then there's just one gleaming white toilet, and it's his stupid voice. Maybe they write for him. Jesse is a true journalist. Thank you. Jesse is the greatest guy. He's definitely stealing, says Trevor. Trevor, that URL says 2019. Going by what we know, that video was 2017. That article you found is 2019 according to its URL. If you can find an earlier instance of it, or maybe it's on the Wayback Machine, I don't know. I don't have the time to look that up right now, but I'd love to look into that eventually. Let's get to an even deeper mystery, though. We only got here. We only found Chills. We only started talking about this because of Bob Hickman. And Bob Hickman, as you remember at the beginning of this, had one of the biggest mysteries, even though he claims to have solved it. Chills said that hand in the backseat of Bob's car was photoshopped. I believe it was possible that Chills did that. But I started thinking about it a little bit more. While we were playing those videos, I can't get this thought about the Bob Hickman stuff out of my head. And I realized something. I think I actually know whose hand that is. I think the hand is real. I think for the first time in Chills' entire career, he used a thumbnail that was technically not clickbait, but he felt so guilty about it, he just lied on himself anyway, just called himself out and said it is clickbait, said it is Photoshop. I think it's real. I know whose hand it is. Before I reveal that, let's do a little bit of a retrospective on Bob. Maybe some of you haven't seen Bob Hickman stuff before. Maybe it's been a while, you don't remember. But I thought we could look at Bob today, and I thought we could look at Bob as early as I could find videos on Bob. And Bob today, it's actually pretty fascinating. You know, every time we do a Bob episode, I usually start it off by saying his classic catchphrase, God entered my body like a body, my same size, like me floating into you or you floating into me. It's the Acts 2:38 Holy Ghost baptism. It's so popular. It's so funny. We made a shirt about it. You can buy this shirt, by the way, podawful.shop. Last chance Wednesday, by the way, to get the new Buffalo James t-shirt, our limited edition t-shirt, Buffalo James. If you know what that's about, you're going to want the shirt, podawful.shop for both of those. Anyway, Bob Hickman has now flipped everything. Remember, I actually had God enter my body like a body my same size, but I'll tell you what never happened to me. Satan never entered my body like a body my same size. Bob Hickman is now claiming Satan is inside his body. He has even changed his name on YouTube to Satan entered my body like a body my same size. Let's take a look.
Satan entered my body like a body my same size. Like me floating into you or you floating into me.
And he's in his goon office away from home, which is, of course, his home. It's the basement of his mother's house, his grandmother's house. He usually does his videos from the Goon office, which is, of course, a public library bathroom. But I guess with COVID, he says he got it. He says he got the coronavirus. The last time we talked about Bob, he was catching it. So I'm guessing they don't allow him in the public library anymore. And, of course, his hiney is hanging out. Bob does all of his videos completely naked now.
I'm seeing visions from the devil right now.
From the devil. So every other video has started off the opposite of that. God entered his body. He's getting visions from God. He's getting visions from Jesus. They're saying in the chat room, this is more believable. Yeah.
Boy, that devil's mean. That devil betrays and attacks his own children.
He sure does.
Anyway, it's August 20th, 2020. And I hope it's all going well for you. Hope things are clicking.
Hey, by the way, so, hey, everybody, just to let you know, the devil demon himself, Lucifer, Beelzebub, he's inside me. I got Moloch inside my skin. He's ripping me apart. He's making me see things and do things I don't want to do. I've committed crimes in his name. Anyway, I hope you guys are cool. Stay healthy out there, all right? Peace, y'all.
Anyway, it's August 20th, 2020. And I hope it's all going well for you. Hope things are clicking.
He says, I hope things are clicking. Meanwhile, there's actually clicking going on in the background. I don't know if he's aware of this.
And,
ooh, he just shimmied his hiney. And there's this thing. He wears these dress shirts because he thinks like, oh, I can't show my hiney anymore on YouTube. YouTube's going to take me down because of my hiney. And so I'll wear a dress shirt like the way your girlfriend does, you know, in the on a TV show, a girlfriend, to show that they had sex the night before, the girlfriend is wearing the man's dress shirt. He wears them the same way. I've never seen a guy look more like he's wearing his dad's shirt than Bob Hickman. And every once in a while, though, he'll duck down just enough that you just get this hint of brown hiney. There's just this tiny little crease of brown, and every time you see it, it's like, oof. I hope that's not the hole that Satan entered.
I don't have a big message today.
You know, that's another thing too. It's like, Bob, are you sure? Like when you say, are you sure you weren't molested? You keep saying a guy entered your body. Are you okay? Were you touched?
Gotta go pick up my...
Oh no, Bob, I'm pretty sure you were molested. You should probably get a psychiatrist or something. Talk to somebody about that. Have you ever had a therapist? Maybe see someone, just tell a trusted friend.
Wife.
Oh, he says he's got to go pick up his wife.
I don't have a big message today. Gotta go pick up my wife and do something with her that I can't say on this video.
I got to go pick up my wife and do something with her that I can't say on this video. Okay. Now you might think. Now let's remember the wife. Put a pin in the wife for a second. Well, you know what I mean.
Keep the message real nice, sweet and short, powerful. Hopefully.
Sweet and short and powerful, much like your dress shirt. Oh, there's that brown little stain of hiney.
Rock and roll.
Hell yeah, brother. Rock and roll.
Powerful, hopefully. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, brother. Always. Okay, rock and roll all night. Rock and roll in the free world like Bob Hickman. Am I right, fellas? Okay, boy. Struggling. This thing is struggling tonight. All right. So let's talk about the wife for a second. You might have forgotten, Bob's got a wife. We've seen the wife. In fact, when we've seen the wife, she's usually in the background, laying down, wrapped up in something, maybe with one arm poking out. A little bit reminiscent of that thumbnail we're talking about, the Chills thumbnail. Could it be that that is a real image and it was his wife in the back seat? After all, he's got to go pick her up and do things he can't talk about. Sinister, evil, crazy things. Rock and roll. Sure, it's possible, but I'll say this. It looks like a man's hand in that thumbnail, and I don't think it was his wife. No, I'm going to have to go ahead and dismiss the idea it was his wife, because again, I'm positive I know who it is. Now remember, God turned Bob gay. He actually, despite having a wife, now prefers the company of men. So I'm going to have to assume it was a guy in his back seat. And I mean that both literally and figuratively. And I've got the proof of that. Let's go back in the Bob archives. Let's go all the way back 9 years ago. 9 years ago, Bob started one of his earliest YouTube accounts that I can find. And in order to tell you about this, I'm a journalist. I'm just reporting the facts, ma'am. So when I tell you the name of this YouTube channel, I'm just saying the name of a YouTube channel. I can't help it. This YouTube channel from 9 years ago is called Satan's Faggot. Not a joke. There's Bob. There's Satan's Faggot. That is the name of the YouTube channel. Let's take a look at one of his oldest videos, shall we?
I'm saying things.
Okay, I'll cue it up from the top.
Greetings and
he always had the tactical bowl cut, so that's been a long staple. But let's see, does he start it with the whole God enter my body like a body my same size thing?
Greetings in Jesus' name. It's dark here in Indianapolis, but
different greeting. Okay, had God entered his body yet?
It doesn't look so bad here in the van.
He's in the creepy van, so the van's already covered in the weird text. You can kind of see it on his window there. We've seen his van before. It's a nightmare machine. He just wrote insane scrawlings all over it. I'll talk about this in a second. We've seen it up close before.
Holy Ghost baptism feels like a body your perfect size coming in.
Okay, so it has happened
like
already.
me floating into you or you floating into me. That's Jesus coming on the inside.
No, Bob.
Now,
again,
right after he comes
Bob,
in.
No, you were molested. No, don't talk about him coming in. Bob, you were raped. You were molested. Please, get help. Find somebody who can do something for you.
Starting day one. Killed all day long persecution. It's manifold temptations, and the Lord himself does each and every one. And God is one way to people on the outside. When he comes on the inside, he is another way. Here's what he does to me, and I won't be able to tell it all, or how bad it really is. Fiery darts feel like electric needles being shot in the gums, poison being spewed out. That's why people in churches don't have any teeth.
That's a lot to take in all at once. Now, you said you were going to have a little trouble telling me about this, Bob, but then you started off on the most insane riff I've ever heard about the pain you experience. Also, I've been to a church before. I'm pretty sure there were teeth there, or they leave the teeth at the door. Are you going to a different type of church? What kind of church you got to go to where everybody's yanking out their dentures beforehand?
Face muscles tighten up at the moment I use them, causing wrinkling, stretching, bagging, sagging, tearing.
Bagging, sagging, tearing, berry.
Neck as well. Electricity flowing on, spiking, caressing, what I use the bathroom out of.
Now, this is an interesting difference. Back in the day, now when he says that, he says his dick, his penis. Back in the day, he was much more kind. He didn't really want to refer to his natural illustrations.
Seeing the Lord in visions and him saying things like masturbate, jack off.
Whoa, hang on, what? No, you can't, okay, go to the bathroom out of, Bob, hang on a second.
Job said, thou terrifiest me in dreams and visions. The Lord putting boils on my face, diseases on my body, causing my body to heat up like a furnace, causing it to where I can't walk because my knee. Letting me see the red light green, but when I pull out in the middle of the busy intersection, it's red again.
That's the way. I gotta say, that one might have been Satan. Maybe Satan entered his body a long time ago, because I can't even see God doing something that nefarious.
Threatening to go after my family members, saying things to me like in visions, backslide, perish for the brethren's sake, keep slipping, keep falling, keep...
Wow. Number 5, Bob Hickman. Bob Hickman's tortured by God inside his body. Inside his body, God rips at him, tears his flesh, pokes needles inside his skin, sends electric penis impulses through his body, and also changes the stoplight at the most inconvenient time.
Keep stumbling. I want you to commit sin in front of those that you witness to. I'm going to get you cut off. I'm going to make you perish. That's what the Lord is like. It goes on night, day, night, day. The Lord told me I was perfect. I'm having visions from the Lord as I'm making this video. I just saw New Jerusalem in flashes. The ministering spirit Holly, and angelic like Gabriel, and then angelic light like white like Holly.
Okay, those of you who have been on the Bob train for a while, you're freaking out like me right now, right? I have not watched this whole video, and I've never seen this channel, Satan's Faggot, before. So, I have to say, this Holly thing, he's kind of saying this word Holly, it doesn't seem to make sense. Those of you who don't know, the Holly seems like a non sequitur, right? What is Holly?
The ministering spirit Holly, and angelic like Gabriel.
We bought one of Bob Hickman's books. I've got it over there somewhere. I've got his book, and he sells a lot of books on Amazon, and they're all nonsense. It's just a string of words with commas, but the word you see over and over again, maybe more often than Jesus or God, is Holly. Have we discovered the secret of Holly?
Real, and then angelic light like white like Holly.
I mean, that's what his book sounds like. That stutter, those words, him seeming to be angry at himself for tripping up, that is exactly how his book reads. Check out the episode, I think it's called Book Club for Murderers. Might be in the Pizza Fund.
Jesus, going from white to black. I'm making this video because I'm on a death fast, and I don't know if I'll live through it.
Well, 9 years on, we're still going pretty strong.
But you can reproduce this. You can show it to other people. The Acts 2:38 born-again Holy Ghost new birth experience feels like Jesus himself coming inside of you like a body your perfect size.
Again, your choice of words. I know this is on a channel called Satan's... I can't even say it. Satan's little fella. Satan's little helper. We'll call those guys little helpers from now on. I know that. But the coming inside, could you just say entering? I mean, even entering is a bridge too far for me, maybe. I don't know. We got to find some new language around this, Bob. We're going to have to get you a PR team or something like that. You know, Bob, maybe if you start talking like this, people will watch your videos more.
And it kind of feels like being on an adrenaline rush, but because of the way he treats the spirit unto life, accept these bonds. The spirit unto life means you do not want to live.
Amen. Same men.
Good luck to you. And, well.
Rock and roll in the free world. Party on, bro. Party on, Garth.
Good luck.
Okay, there you go. That's how it ends. There you go. Good luck to one and all. Same men, of course. Prayers. I'll keep you in my prayers as well. So, Bob has not changed much in all this time. I don't know if there's an older channel of his, older videos of his or not, but he's been a pretty consistent guy. And even back then, he's calling himself Satan's little helper. So he must have always, to some degree, preferred the company of men. Who could it be in that back seat? What man's arm was it? Well, I mentioned to you, we've seen his van in person before, right? Pod Awful had an agent of chaos go to Bob Hickman's home, in fact, multiple times, and see in real life the Bob Mobile. If you haven't seen this on our Awful Ween episode, someone went to Bob's house and TP'd it. They toilet papered it. So let's take a look at Bob's van here and his home. If you've never seen it before.
Couldn't do much because it was windy and raining, but I did it. I only had 2 trees for me to TP, but I tried to get his house, but nothing would stay. It's too windy. There's the van. God entered my body like a body my same size.
Okay. Now, you've probably seen that video before if you've been watching me for long enough. Let's watch that one more time, shall we? And I'm going to slow it down to 0.5 speed.
Couldn't do much because it was windy and raining, but...
Whoa, do you hear what I hear in that? Raining?
Couldn't do much because it was windy and raining, but I did it. I only had 2 trees for me to TP, but I tried to get this house, but nothing would stay. Too windy. There's the van.
Now, who would be this interested in seeing Bob in real life?
God entered my body like a body my same size.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've never revealed this before. We have somebody who has long been helping this show. You know, I've got all this equipment, but I've got 2 eyeballs, and I can only see but so much of the internet at one time. So I had to get a little help. And I've never revealed this before, but we have an operative who's a big part of this show called 1185. And he helps me watch the internet. And he did sneak into the back of Bob's van. It's time for the 1185 face reveal. That's right. Our hacker, our man in the net, is the guy counting them down, watching the internet so you don't have to, and using the most annoying voice of all time. Why did I never share with you the voice of 1185? Well, I think you know now. 1185 is Darren from Chills. Dylan? I don't know his real name. Chills. It's Chills. It's the guy from Chills. God entered his body like a body his same size, too. All right, thank you for watching the show, guys. You can join the Pizza Fund and watch our Friday and Wednesday shows in there at the $6 and $12 levels, respectively. We'll be back on Wednesday for our premium episode. We don't run ads on this show. We don't have sponsors. We don't use Patreon, so instead we built our own. It's over at podawful.pizza. Works exactly like Patreon. Many levels to choose from, including a $1 level. It's a subscription-based donation system. You can cancel anytime. I hope you'll join it. Get immediate access upon joining to hours and hours and hours and years worth of content, the likes of which you've never seen before. Podawful.pizza.
Support the show. Join the Pizza Fund. Podawful.pizza.
Pizza, pizza. Pizza!
Podawful.pizza.
Everyone's losing their mind over this information. Oh my God, no way. We're all 1185. Oh shit. Wow. Okay, I'm just kidding. It wasn't. Chills is not 11. I would never reveal the truth behind 1185. You will never find him. But I will say this, that hand in the background of that thumbnail, it was me. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye. Buy the Bob shirt. Buy the Buffalo James shirt. Podawful.shop. I'll see you next time. Have an awful day. Bye.
Head over to podawful.com/iTunes and subscribe to us on iTunes. We're live every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern at podawful.tv. Love the show? Keep it going by donating to the Pizza Fund. podawful.com/support. And anything else you need is at podawful.com.